Hi BookTube, Sarah here and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with a weekly reads video. This is for week number 48 and it is November the 8th through the 14th. I almost said August for some reason. So yay, I read 8 books this week, very excited. So in this video I'm going to share with you all the books that I read this week, and then I'm going to talk very quickly about what I'm currently reading, and then I am going to share with you some new books that I have gotten from Netgalley this week. I think there's 8 of them. And then I am going to share with you some books that I've purchased this week, some physical books, and I've bought a couple. I think like 8 or something like that, maybe more. I don't know, 8 to 10, I can't remember. I'm going to share those with you. Then I do have some crafting stuff that I've been working on that I want to show you guys too. So all that stuff will be listed in the description box below. So if you want to jump around the video, please feel free to do so to whatever section you are most interested in watching. So as you can see, the Christmas tree is up. I am so excited. It is a gray and stormy day today. They're calling for very, very high winds this afternoon. Like there's actually a weather alert for the amount of like wind that we're supposed to get. So I'm having a very lazy day today. I mean, I am recording these videos, but I'm just feeling Sunday lazy. So, you know, I just want to sit down and chat with you guys, and Garrett put up the Christmas tree for me this morning. So that was super awesome. I did do my very first reel on Instagram this morning. I'm kind of testing that out. Something I'm going to talk about in a video coming up later this week in regards to Instagram and this channel for December and what's going to actually be kind of going on for those. So stay tuned for that video coming up on Thursday. I'm going to film that after I'm done doing this. And yeah, so I did a reel of kind of showing off the book room in all its Christmas glory. These shelves actually need something. I'm debating on getting another set of lights to kind of string around these bookcases. So we shall see, you know, in the coming weeks, if that gets done. So yeah, so anyway, let's jump into these 8 books that I finished this week. So starting off, the first book that I finished, do I have it here? I do have it here, right here. I finished reading The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn. I gave this one 4.5 stars. This one was so delightful. This is Anthony's story, so I am participating in a group read-along of all 8 of the Bridgerton books in order to read all of them by December 25th. I think the read-along ends on December 20th, and the Netflix show comes out on December 25th. So I finished book 2. I'm almost done book 3. I'll talk about that in my currently reading. But like I said, this is Anthony's story. It's Anthony and Kate, and I really, really enjoyed this one. I had forgotten how much, like, I love The Duke and I. I've read it, I think, 4 times, but this was a reread for me. The entire series is a reread for me, but it's been really delightful revisiting them. And I'd forgotten a lot about Anthony's story. And it was really, really sweet. I liked it a lot. I love Kate. I think she's absolutely adorable. This one was a marriage of convenience. No, it's not a marriage of convenience. They have to get married because they are caught in a compromising position. And yeah, she is the older sister, but her younger sister is like the belle of the ball, essentially. You know, the mother waited until the younger daughter, because they don't have a lot of money. They're not from a very aristocratic family, and they had to wait until the younger daughter was old enough to come out for a season. So then Kate got to come out as well. And you know, everybody was kind of going about over her for her sister, and Anthony was actually pursuing her sister as well because he thought that she would make a perfect wife. Very pretty, very sweet, you know, knows some, you know, she's not kind of a dummy. I hate to use that terminology, but she's not like empty-headed in a way, you know, just talking about hearts and flowers. Like, she loves to read and she's intelligent. But Kate does not want Anthony to pursue her sister because she thinks he's a rake. She doesn't like him much. She doesn't know him personally, but she's heard stories, right? And anyway, so of course the two of them end up in this compromising position, and they end up having to get married, and of course they end up falling in love, and it was so sweet. And I'd forgotten, the other thing I'd forgotten, I know that there's a Pall Mall scene in Colin's book, which is book 4, but I'd forgotten that there was one in this as well. For those of you who are fans of the series, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's this croquet game that they play. It's essentially croquet as far as I'm concerned. And it's just, the banter in these scenes is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I will be extremely disappointed if we do not see one in the show. The thing is, though, there isn't one in The Duke and I. And I will admit now, the more I'm seeing about the TV show, I'm getting nervous because I'm wondering how true it's going to stay to the books. I don't care about the casting. I think the casting is brilliant. Simon is just, oh, when I was rereading The Duke and I had him pictured as Simon. I mean, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. But just some of the things that I've been seeing in regards to the scenes and things like that, I'm wondering how true it's going to stay to the storyline of the book. That's pretty much where I'm going with that. So I'm hoping. And if it's well done, I am hoping that they're going to do the rest of them because, yeah, so yay. So I finished that one this week. The next one that I finished was A Surprise Christmas Wedding, and this was by Phillipa Ashley. I gave this book 3.5 stars. Sorry, I'm just trying to organize over here. This one was a NetGalley read. This came out in October of 2020, and thank you very much to Avon Books UK for sending me an Ehrhart copy of this book to review. So this one was enjoyable. It was a really fun holiday read. It's a UK author, and it takes place in the UK as well, so there's a lot of terminology and things that aren't atypical for those of us in North America. Some of the things that they talk about. So it's about a woman by the name of Lottie, and she was engaged to this gentleman. It happens right in the prologue that the two of them end up getting engaged, and she's super excited, and he's like, hold up, we'll tell our families. I have to go on this business trip for a bit, and then we'll tell our families when I get back. And then he comes back and literally breaks off the engagement. So a year goes by, and she is now working for this estate that hosts like events and parties and tours and things like that. And lo and behold, the ex-fiance shows up with his new fiance, and she is actually the wedding planner. Like, she's the event coordinator for this estate. So that's pretty much the premise of the story, and it was really cute, really sweet. There is a love story in this. I would definitely consider this to be a chick lit novel, because it focuses a lot more on Lottie and how she's dealing with the situation. There is, like I said, a romance in here between her and the groundskeeper. Was he the groundskeeper? At the estate named Jay, and Jay has this dog named Trevor. I love the dog. Dog was adorable. But yeah, this story was so good. Very well written. Really holiday. Really festive. It takes place in the Lake District in the UK. I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it. If you want a really cute and fun Christmas story, this one, yeah, you'll be really, really happy with this one. The next one that I finished, I love this one, was, do I have a copy of it? I do have a copy of it, but I don't know where it is. But I listened to it on audio, was Hot Winter Nights by Jill Shalvis. This I gave this book 4.5 stars, and this one is book number 6 in the Heartbreaker Bay series, and very exciting. This finishes the series for me, because I did jump around in this series quite a bit. So I read book 8, like the last book, last year or early this year. I cannot remember when, but it was a little while ago. There are a couple little novellas that I haven't read yet, but I don't really count those for completion of a series. I do plan on going back and reading them. My library actually has them on audio, so I think those are going to get read in December, because they're just short 4 or 5 hour little long audiobooks. But anyway, this completed the Heartbreaker Bay series for me. And rumor has it there will be more books in this series, and I'm very hopeful for that. So I am up to current, at least. Let's put it that way. So this is the story of Molly and Lucas, and this was so cute. So Molly is the sister to a guy from the 5th book, and the two of them did not have the best childhood growing up. I think their mother passed. I'm trying to remember now. I think their mother passed away, and their dad was military, I think. I could be confusing that with something else, sorry. I just read it this week. This is why I do weekly wrap-ups, because I couldn't remember at the end of the month all these things. And an accident happened to her when she was 14. And as a result, she has some physical injuries that she's dealing with. But she's working at this private investigator firm that Lucas works for. And he's kind of always had a crush on her. But of course, it's his best friend's younger sister. That's like, the trope in this one. And anyway, she really wants to start doing investigations of her own. But they're telling her, it's too dangerous. We don't want you to get hurt. And, she's kind of really pushing for it. She's like, I can handle it. I can do it, And then, and then she takes this case on her own accord of these two little old ladies dressed as elves. They show up. They're right there at the very beginning of the book. And they are working at this like Christmas village that also hosts a bingo. I fell in love with this so much. And there's a bad Santa essentially, and he's stealing money from his workers. Like they're supposed to get a cut of the profits, from the sales and at the bingo, but he keeps saying, "Oh, like we're not making any money," but yet, the bingo is filled all the time, and they seem to be making a lot of money. So they're trying to figure out where the money is, and so Molly is gonna kind of take on their case, if you will. And Lucas is told by Archer, who runs the investigative firm, he's like, you need to watch after her because she might get hurt. So, he's kind of on her tail in a way, like helping her out. And of course, a romance ensues. It was so delightful. I loved it so, so much. This series is just an absolute delight. If you have not read the Heartbreaker Bay series yet by Jill Shalvis, do yourself a favor because you will not be disappointed. Oh, they are so, so, so much fun. The next one I finished was Jingle All the Way by Debbie Macomber. I gave this one 3.5 stars. I did listen to this one on audio as well. Oh, the Hot Winter Nights was narrated by Vivian Leahy, or Lehaney, I think is how you say the last name. So Jingle All the Way, also on audio, was narrated by Therese Plummer. And this is Debbie Macomber's newest Christmas book. My library happened to have it available for me to borrow, so I did. And because this one, I think, was an anticipated read for November or October, whatever month it came out. It's fairly recent. It's in the last few months. So this one is the story of Evelyn and Asher. So I gave this one 3.5 stars. I liked it, but it was not a favorite Debbie Macomber Christmas book. So our main character, Evelyn, is like this high-ranking executive. She runs, co-owns, this like real estate firm, in a way, and she's stressed out, and she fires her assistant because at the very beginning of the book, the assistant messes up big time during a presentation. But the assistant is like her co-owner's niece, so it's like that whole family thing, and he's like, oh, just give her another chance, and maybe you need a vacation, and you're too stressed out, you're yelling at the assistants, kind of an idea. She's like, well, she messed up, like, what am I supposed to do? If she wasn't the niece, she would have been fired long ago. So anyway, the niece, he's like, oh, take a vacation. So she finally relents. She's like, okay, I'll take a vacation. And the niece ends up booking her on this cruise in South America. So she thinks she's going on this lovely cruise, like all inclusive with drinks and pools and, your typical cruise that you see. But no, she ends up on this cruise that goes down the Amazon that is very, very rough and more environmental than vacation, if you will. They stop off in their flora and fauna in the Amazon and, things like that. So she's really mad. There's no Wi-Fi, there's no TV, there's no nothing. So the bulk of the story actually takes place in the Amazon rainforest area. So it's not really Christmas in that aspect. And there is a relationship between her and this guy named Asher. So the more Christmassy part happens towards the end of the book. So I did write some notes down here. I just want to see, it just didn't feel like a Christmas book to me. I think that was my biggest takeaway from this, is that, you look at that cover and you think, oh my gosh, it's like an adorable little Christmas book. It's going to be so delightful and so heartwarming. And it was, but I still felt like I was duped in a way because so much of it took place like at a time that it wasn't Christmas. Like it was in the month of December and Christmas is mentioned, but Debbie Macomber, you're expecting Christmas and I wasn't getting that. So that's why it only got 3.5 stars, but still that's a pretty good rating for me. That's a little bit better than average. So that was pretty good. The next one that I finished was, and I have a physical copy here, Missing in the Mountains by Julianne Lindsey. This I gave 4 stars to. This is book number 2 in the Fortress Defense series by this author. And this is the story of Emma and Sawyer. So this is a second chance romantic suspense. Second chance, secret baby, romantic suspense. These are the tropes that are in this book. So essentially, like I said, the story of Emma and Sawyer. And Emma, I'm trying to remember exactly now what happened. So let me back up. So you meet Sawyer in the first book. Him and Wyatt, who's the male lead in the first book, they run an investigations firm called Fortress Defense. Not investigations, but a like protection, bodyguard, investigation, like all the things kind of a business. They're both former military. And he makes an appearance in the first book, and I really liked him, and I was super excited that he got the next book. So he shows up to help Emma, actually what happens is that he gets this phone call when he's working at Fortress Defense, and it's Emma. And him and Emma have a history. They are, like I said, a second chance romance. And they were together over a year earlier, and then he had to leave on a mission. He was only supposed to be gone 8 weeks, but he was gone a long time because he was captured. Now, she doesn't know that. She thinks that he just ghosted her, essentially. So the thing was, though, is that after he left, of course, she found out she was pregnant. So when he shows up, because her sister ends up getting kidnapped for reasons that they don't know why yet, but he shows up and she's got this 4-month-old little son by the name of Henry. So, the story kind of goes from there of them trying to find out what happened with her sister. Very edge of your seat, lots of excitement, great second chance romance. Really, really cute with the baby, the two of them trying to learn to navigate each other again with their new reality with this little boy, and he wants to be a dad, of course, to the little boy. Super, super sweet. I really like this one. Like I said, lots of action, lots of edge of your seat. There's a scene in here where the brakes get cut on his truck, and the three of them are in the truck, and they're going down the side of a mountain, and oh my god, it was amazing. I really, really like this one. I'm liking this series a lot, which is a good thing because I'm reading through like the whole thing. But I just love Julianne Lindsey's writing in these books. They are fantastic, and I highly recommend that you check this one out. Check out the whole series. Not just that one, but the whole series so far. The next book that I finished was probably my big dud of the week, if you will, and that was Something to Talk About by Dakota Cassidy. This book I gave 3 stars to. I listened to this one on audio, and it was narrated by Scarlett Chase. So, this series, it's book number 2 in the Plum Orchard series. I only have one more book in this series to read to finish it off, so I think I'm going to do that in the new year and just kind of get it done with and get it off of my series reads shelf. This was a series, the first time I read it, like the first book that I read, I really liked. But then this one, I guess, it just goes to show how much your reading changes over the years, because I read the first one in January of 2018. So it's now almost January of 2021. It's been 3 years, close to 3 years since the first one. And the hot and spicy aspect of these books, I could do without. But the thing is that it's such a big premise in this story because of the fact that they essentially run a sex phone operation. It's about this group of women who run this, like, you phone and you get this woman on the line and she's going to talk dirty to you, essentially. So, sex is an integral part within these books. And it's just so overdone, and it's just not my thing. It's just, I don't mind some of it. Like the Jill Shalvis books can get very, very hot and spicy. But to me, it just feels more organic to the story. Whereas this is like, let's write a book that is scandalous. And that's not for me. So does that make sense in the difference between the two? So I didn't love this one. It is essentially she's a single mom, he's a single dad. What are the characters' names again? Emma and Jax. And she is the general manager for this phone. Like, she's not on the phones, but she's like the GM. And he works in town, and they meet, and they decide to have a friends with benefits type of a fling. And of course it turns into something more, and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it was okay. It was the writing on it was good. Dakota Cassidy is a really great writer. Just these ones, like I said, I'll finish off the last one if I can find it on audio. And I'll listen to it probably in the new year sometime and just get the series done with. Or I might just DNF the series at this point. That's something I've been debating on doing for the last little while. I have a huge list of series that I'm working my way through. And a lot of them I look at and just have no interest in completing. So what do you guys think? Your thoughts? Should I just say forget it and just DNF it and be done with them? And just, move on into stuff that I'm actually enjoying? I think that's probably my best bet. The next book that I finished, this one was really cute, was You Lucky Dog by Julia London. This one is another NetGalley read. It came out in August of 2020. Thank you very much to Berkeley Romance for sending me an Ehrhart copy of this one to review. I did listen to it on audio, and it was narrated by Courtney Patterson. This one I gave 4 stars to. This was the story of Carly and Max, and oh my gosh, you guys, this one was so cute. If you are a dog lover, you need to read this book. Run, don't walk to pick up this book. So it has one of the best meet cutes I have read all year, honestly. So it starts off with Carly and Max's dogs being taken out by their dog walker. This guy named Brent or something like that. He only appears at the very, very beginning of the story. So there he is walking all these dogs, and he's a pot dealer. And he ends up getting busted by the police for possession of a controlled substance, and also selling said controlled substance to the cop. I didn't know it was a cop. So anyway, he's like, he's going to jail, and he says like, dude, can my friend come and pick up all these dogs and return them home to where they're supposed to go? So of course the friend shows up, takes all the dogs home, but drops off Carly and Max's dogs at the wrong house. They both have beagles, and both of them get dropped off at the wrong house. So they realize it almost right away that they have the wrong dog. So then they have to try and find out where their dog actually is. And that's how the two of them meet. And it's so adorable, and I loved it. I just thought it was so creative for a meet cute. I really, really liked it. So anyway, then the story goes on that the two of them kind of start to become friends, and then they become more than friends. And it was really, really good. I like this one a lot. It does have some spicy scenes in it, but they're fewer and far between. And yeah, I really like this one. People always think of me as being a cat person, and I am. I love my cats. I think they're great. But I do love dogs, and there are a lot of dogs in this story. There is also, in my opinion, some great representation, for autism in this book, because Max's younger brother, who's in his 20s, like Max is a scientist, and Jamie is in his early 20s, is autistic, severely autistic. And he loves dogs, and it's like one of the only ways he can communicate or wants any kind of affection or anything like that is when he's around dogs, and he works with dogs all day, and it was just so well written. I really, really like Jamie as a character. I think he was fantastic. So yeah, this book, super, super good. I really enjoyed it. I mean, what did I say? I gave it 4 stars. I'm almost tempted to bump it up to a 4.5 because, the more I talk about it now, the more I realized how charming and delightful it was, and I absolutely recommend it. And then the last book that I finished this week was Gingerdead Man by Maya Corrigan. This I gave 3.5 stars to. This is another NetGalley read. This one came out in September of 2020. So thank you very much to Kensington for sending me an Ehrhart copy of this one to review. I did I did read it as an ebook. And it is book number 7 in a 5-ingredient mystery series. Excuse me. Sorry, you guys. It's a little dry. Oh, I dropped my cat. My little kitty cat. I just say, yeah, I like cats. So this is a cozy mystery. This one was really cute. 3.5 stars. It wasn't super fantastic, but it was delightful. And I do want to go back and read the rest of the books in this series. So essentially this is the story of a woman by the name of Val and her granddad. And the two of them are our amateur sleuths, which is one thing I really liked. Usually you see it's a single woman, but the fact it's a single woman and her granddad who are like solving these like cozy mystery kind of an idea. So at the beginning of the book, their small town in Maryland is doing this like Dickens holiday Christmas festival, and everyone in town is kind of dressed up as different Dickens characters, and there is a guy playing Santa Claus, just mostly for the kids, right? So anyway, at the beginning of the book, he ends up dying, what seems to be poison, and there's this person dressed as like the ghost of Christmas future, who comes in like dressed in all black, all very creepy, and delivers these gifts. And the guy playing Santa Claus, whose name is Jake, he eats one of these cookies, and it's a gingerdead man. So it's like a gingerbread man, but it's decorated to look like a skeleton. And they did them at Halloween. And he ate one, and then he died. And then this other old man in town dies. So, Val and her granddad are trying to find out, who done it. And the one thing, though, the reason that this didn't get like 4 stars is that I found the chapters ended very abruptly. It was like partway through the character's thought, the chapter ends, and then you get the next chapter. And it just felt like there was like even a single line missing. It was just very jarring. It wasn't every chapter, but there were a lot of chapters that ended that way, and it really kind of bothered me. And I was like, that's just a little weird. So anyway, I mean, it's a very small thing. But, this was still a really fun, cozy mystery. And like I said, I do want to go back and read the rest of them. It's actually the grandfather who has it says it's a 5-ingredient mystery series. And he's actually the one who writes this column for the local paper for recipes that are 5 ingredients or less. And I just love the fact that it's more focused on the grandpa as being like the main amateur sleuth, and Val is kind of there just to kind of help him out in a way. Really, really cute, very charming, and I liked it a lot. So what am I currently reading, you guys? So 2 of these books I haven't started yet. The first one is Devil's Daughter by Lisa Kleypas. This is a pardon me, I got the hiccups, a historical romance novel. Book number 5 in the Ravenel series, I believe. I don't know if I've read any of the other ones in this series, but I'm reading this one for a challenge, so that's okay. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be starting it as soon as I'm done this and can start editing these videos, today's videos. So I'm looking forward to this one very much. The other one that I am going to be starting this afternoon is Marine Protector by Julianne Lindsey, which is the 3rd book in the Fortress Defense series, because the live show with Nicole and Jen is going to be this coming Wednesday. So I want to get that read before the live show. And last but not least, today I plan on finishing An Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn, the 3rd book in the Bridgerton series, which is Benedict's story. So yay on that one. It's over there, or else I'm going to have the cover up here. But the physical book is just over on my desk over there. So yeah, I think I have like 4 or 5 chapters left in it, so I'm planning on finishing that up today. So I've got a lot of reading plans for this afternoon, essentially. Next up, I'll share with you guys what I got new from NetGalley this week. Super excited. I've got 8 books here to share with you, and as I like to do, I'm just going to pop up the cover, let you guys know when they're coming out, and of course thank the publishers for sending these to me as e-arcs. So the first one, speaking of the lovely Julianne Lindsey, the first one I have here is Impact Zone by Julianne Lindsey. This comes out on December the 1st. Thank you very much to Harlequin for sending me the e-arc copy of this one to review. I think it's 2nd or 3rd book in a series for the Intrigue line. And yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to this one. I also got Nitty Gritty Murder by Peggy Ehrhart. This comes out on the 30th of March, 2021. Thank you very much to Kensington Books for sending me this e-arc copy. It is a cozy mystery. It's the Knit and Nibble cozy mystery series, I think. It looks absolutely adorable. Last Night in London by Karen White. This comes out on the 20th of April, 2021. Thank you very much to Berkeley for this e-arc copy. This, I believe, is a historical fiction set in both present day and London during World War II during the Blitz. So I'm very interested, and I'm very much looking forward to getting to that one. We have One Poison Pie by Lynn Calhoun. This comes out 26th of January, 2021. Thank you again to Kensington for this e-arc copy. It is a cozy mystery. I believe it's the first in a series. The Witch's Kitchen mystery series, I think it's called. Not absolutely certain, but looks really cute. The Wife He Needs by Brenda Jackson. This comes out on the 15th of December, 2020. Thank you again to Harlequin Books for this one. This is a desire novel by the great Brenda Jackson, and this one sounds really good. Cannot wait to read this one. This one looks so interesting. We have Aftershock by Judy, Melinek, and J.T. Mitchell. This comes out on the 19th of January, 2021. Thank you again to Harlequin for this one. This is a thriller, and I believe it's the first in a new series, and it looks really good. It's something that happens, like an earthquake happens in San Francisco or something, and then it's like the after effects of what happens, and I'm so into it. It just sounds really good, and yeah, I'm very excited. I love a good thriller. Then we have, I'm so excited about this one, The Vineyard at Painted Moon by Susan Mallery. Yay, the new Susan Mallery. This comes out on the 9th of February, 2021. Thank you again, Harlequin, for sending me an e-arc copy of this one. And we have Gone Too Far by Debra Webb. This comes out on the 27th of April, 2021. And thank you to Thomas and Mercer for sending me an e-arc copy of this one. The last Debra Webb that I had from NetGalley, I did DNF. It was part of the Undertaker's Daughter series. This is a different publisher to my understanding from that one, so I don't know how different the book's going to be. This one sounds much more like a police procedural, whereas the Undertaker's Daughter book got a little bit too, what's the word I'm looking for, graphic in terms of like death and funerals and undertakers and things like that. So I do like Debra Webb. I am a big fan of her, so I'm looking forward to trying this one. I know the first one in the series, this is book 2 in a series. The first one, which I do not know, I think the first one is actually called Trust No One. That is available on Kindle Unlimited. So this one doesn't come out till the end of April, so I might go ahead and read the first one first and then jump into this one. So yay, that one should be good. So let's get now into my book haul. Lots of books this week, guys. So first of all, I kind of got them all scattered around me here. I did place an order on Indigo chapters. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw me do this unboxing earlier this week. I think it was on Monday. But I was in the mood for some Christmas type books. But the first book I got is non-Christmas, and this is actually the next book I plan on reading after I finish Marine Protector by Julianne Lindsey, and that is The Tourist Attraction by Sarah Morgan-Thayer, I think is how you say her last name. So I'm really excited about reading this one, and the thing is that Chapters Indigo was having this huge sale that because I'm a card, like the paid card member, I got 30% off everything I ordered. So it was actually quite good. I think I paid less than $40, or right around $40 for all 4 of these books that I got. No, it was less than $50 for all of these. That included tax. I got free shipping though. So anyway, yeah, The Tourist Attraction. This is a small town contemporary romance, takes place in a town called Moose Springs, Alaska. So I'm really looking forward to getting to this one next. Now, the reason I wanted to get this one is because I want to read this one in December, and I do actually already have this on my December TBR. This is the second book in this series, and it's called Mistletoe and Mr. Right. Looks delightful. Again, it's set in a small Alaskan town. I cannot wait. Sounds great. This one I've seen making the rounds on Instagram, and I decided to try it out. It's The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayliss. Looks really cute. It's about a woman who's 34. It takes place in England, and she decides to go on 12 different dates over Christmas with 12 different guys, I think. That's how it goes. So, looks really cute. This one is also, spoiler alert, on my December TBR. And last but not least, I picked this one up on a whim, and it turns out that this is a YA novel. I wasn't sure when I did my unboxing, but I have now checked into it. But it's a YA novel. It's super duper short, looks super cute. I might try and fit this one in December as well. And this is All I Want for Christmas, and this is Wendy Logea. And it's about a girl who loves Christmas, and she wants a little romance, and it looks adorable. So yay, I'm very excited about that one too. The next books that I got, wait, hold on. Okay, I got this in the mail as well. And then this I picked up yesterday. Okay, got a couple here. So this one I got in the mail the other day, and this is The Reunion by Jana de Leon. This is a Harlequin intrigue novel, obviously. This is book number 3 in the, what's the series called? Mystery Parish Family Inheritance series. So I've read book 2. I just got book 1. Last week I showed you guys. There's book 1. I've read book 2, and now I've got book 3. So I'm very excited now to get to this one. This is a chunker. This is actually a 2-in-1. So there's another Jana de Leon book in here called The Secrets of Cyprine Bayou. So it's a 2-in-1 book, which is really exciting. So yay. So I'm looking forward to getting to that one. And then yesterday, the hubby and I went to Walmart in the morning to do our groceries and things like that. And I saw this book on the table, and it's an anthology, a bind-up of 2 books. And I don't even know, I think I might even have maybe at least one of these books on my Harlequin shelves. I believe these were both Harlequin special edition novels, but they've repackaged them into this volume, and it's called The Christmas Change of Heart by Michelle Major and Brenda Harlan. A dog on the cover with the scarf, and there's some people. And then on the back, there's a little black kitten. So the 2 books within here is Sleigh Bells in Crimson by Michelle Major and Bring Me a Maverick for Christmas by Brenda Harlan. So yay. This one, as far as I know, I don't think it's going to make my December TBR. I've already got it kind of pretty packed, but I would like to get to this one. I mean, hey, I have no problem reading Christmas books in the middle of July, so hey, this might make it for Christmas in July next year. That might be fun. And then the last 3 books that I picked up, the hubby and I went to the thrift store yesterday, and of course I had to look at books. And I ended up getting 2 more books in the Bridgerton series by Julia Quinn. Now I have the entire set in these gorgeous, in my opinion, these gorgeous UK editions. And I love them, love them, love them. But I really want to collect all of them with the step backs. The North American editions with the step backs, and I found 2 of them. And they're the last 2 in the series, book 7 and book 8. I don't know which is which. I think this is book 7, which is It's in His Kiss by Julia Quinn. And there's the step back. This is Hyacinth's story. So yay on that one. Absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, only reason is because of the step backs. If they didn't have the step backs, I wouldn't have bothered picking them up. And then the other one is On the Way to the Wedding, which is Gregory's story. And let me step back for that one. Yay! Can't wait. It's going to be so good. And then the last one that I got, I saw this one as well at the thrift store. And this is Chasing Cassandra by Lisa Kleypas. I guess because I had Devil's Daughter in my head because I was going to be starting it today, I saw this one and it's in almost mint condition. It looks like nobody even read it. Either that or they were really great on not cracking the spine. But this one has a gorgeous step back as well. So yeah, so I am looking forward to getting to that one. I think that one is the one that comes after the one that I'm going to be reading this week. So that's pretty much it that I have book related. I'm just going to show you guys some of my crafty stuff. Chatty bits before I jump into the crafting, not too much. The case counts here in Ontario are going really high. It's a little scary. New restrictions are posted in the city of Toronto. My manager came to me on Friday and she's wanted to make sure I was completely set up to work from home if it came to that. I'm actually very much hoping to work from home, mainly because with the case counts going up, so is my anxiety. And I am nervous because I cannot control what anybody else is doing. I can only control me. And going into an office building and going in the elevator and going upstairs to once I'm at my desk, I'm okay because people generally don't bother me. There's not a lot of us in the office. But, you know, I think they're kind of holding off until the city kind of says, no, you know, anyone who can work from home should work from home, which I think might happen this week. That I'm very actually hopeful it happens this week. So we shall see how that goes. But anyway, that's pretty much all that's really going on. Yeah, got the Christmas tree up. Life's been going pretty good. Other than that, I really have no complaints. So, yay. Oh yeah, and yesterday, oh my gosh, yesterday, I got to have a chat with Susan Wiggs. Well, me and Chloe and Bree got to chat with Susan Wiggs. If you guys have not seen that interview, I will leave it linked down below. Please do go and check it out. It was so much fun. Oh my gosh, you guys, so much fun. Oh, I'm still pinching myself that I actually got to do it. So, crafting. First of all, actually, let me show you guys the blanket because I haven't shown you guys the blanket in months, I'm sure. So this is, oh, I'm working on a square, I guess. Oh, look at that. This is my sock yarn blanket. And I have been slowly working on this for years and years and years now. And essentially all it is these little squares, they're called mitered squares, that you just attach one to the other, almost like a knitted quilt, for lack of a better, you know, terminology. This thing is huge now. I mean, absolutely massive. Come on. So yeah, it's big, but it needs to be quite a bit bigger because it eventually is going to go on my bed. So yeah, so that's kind of what it looks like here. Showing you guys that. So I've added a lot of squares since the last time I talked to you guys. Okay, so that was the last one that I showed you guys. So I've added in all of these, like these 2 rows. I've added in all of these, and as you can see, I'm in the middle of adding another one. I should maybe finish that one off today before I go ahead and start working on Christmas knitting, Christmas gift knitting. Put that back in there. Oh, and the yarn. Okay, so the other thing I finished yesterday was a pair of socks, you guys, and I did put them on to see if they fit, and they do. Yay, always good. So these are my vampires. I call them Vampires Love Twizzlers. So that's kind of what the sock looks like from the side. They're fraternal twins, as I like to say, because my little ends that I wove in are sticking out in certain places, but that's okay. So they are fraternal twins because I was so mad because I started with the same color, see? Like the same color I started with. But I guess the balls were backwards because this one went from the light to the gray and then down, whereas this one went from the light to the red. So I must have started, I don't know, it's weird. It's like they were opposites of each other. So anyway, I love them regardless. I think they're pretty awesome. So I'm very happy with that. For crafting, the only things I'm going to be working on over the next few weeks, I'm not casting on a new pair of socks right away because I showed you guys last week I got that new yarn that Rainey and I are going to be knitting matching Christmas socks. So I'll be doing those in December. And then I will also be doing a cross stitch, like an Advent cross stitch. I'm going to talk about that later. But speaking of cross stitch, excuse me for reaching, I did want to show you guys this. I didn't show it to you last week. So this is my Autumn Cat cross stitch pattern, and I finished the first page. So the pattern is 4 different pages, and I finished the first one, and I'm now working on the second page. So that's all the first page, and now I'm working into the second page. So yeah, I am really, really pleased with this. But it's pretty much going to be this and Christmas knitting for the next few weeks at least. And then for the month of December, if I still have Christmas knitting that I need to do, I'll finish that off. And then it'll be Christmas socks and then like this Advent cross stitch thing that I'm doing. So I'm very excited about that. So yeah, really, really love that. Super, super cute. fall pattern. So that'll be really pretty in this room to be able to hang up once I'm done it. So anyway, guys, that's all I have for this video today. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite book that you read this week? Or have you read any of the books that I talked about this week, and what did you think about them? And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.